Hi, this is Randle here in Texas, and this week I'm going to be bringing you a solo review of The Invisible Man. This is the latest from Blumhouse Pictures. It stars Elizabeth Moss as the antagonist. She's just escaped from a psychologically abusive relationship with her husband Adrian, and he has supposedly committed suicide. So the film basically revolves around her trying to convince everyone else that no, Adrian would never do that because he's far too controlling, and that he has found a way to make himself invisible. Most of the people around her do not believe it, obviously, because it's crazy, but she is really certain of it. This is brought to you by Blumhouse Pictures, which has a really interesting filmography. They actually do the Purge series, the Insidious series. They're the producers of Get Out, but they're also the producers of Fantasy Island, which, to put it bluntly, is a terrible film. I'm gonna link you up to Chris Stuckman's review of Fantasy Island because it's just awful. Um, so, in regards to the Invisible Man, when they're all over the place with their quality, I really enjoyed the Invisible Man. I really enjoyed Elizabeth Moss's performance in it. It's the standout part of the film is that she does this really good job of portraying this character who is in a psychologically abusive relationship, and she can't get over that. It's not like you would expect anyone to get over that level of abuse that quickly. And then you have this antagonist who literally is an invisible man, and she has to try to get everyone on board. She catches on really early that he is definitely stalking her, that there's something afoot, and no one else believes her. Which, again, would you believe it if someone said, hey, an invisible person is standing right there and they're stalking me? No. But you get to see her character just make this descent into like her own little personal madness, and then she comes back out of it near the end of the film as someone who's like, I am not crazy. I know I'm not, and I'm going to come up with a plan, and I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to show everybody that I'm not crazy. So it was an enjoyable character arc to watch. It was an enjoyable film to watch for the most part, but it is not perfect. So some of the things that bug me about this film is logic leaps. The logic leaps that they make for most Invisible Men movies is whether or not you can hear this invisible person. Well, they're invisible, but they're not silent. So, he can walk up right behind you and you would never even know he's there unless he touched you. And I'm like, well, that's hard enough to do, period. Just because walking around makes noise. Houses have creaks and, floorboards that go when you walk on them. And that's if you know your house very well. And he's walking around strangers' houses and hospitals, etc. And no one knows he's there because he's so super silent. And I find that to be pretty unbelievable. Even from the perspective of, hey, I'm watching a movie that's called The Invisible Man, that was a logic leap I didn't like taking. But once you get past that, he does a great antagonist, and Elizabeth Moss's performance in this film actually heightens him as an antagonist because she spends so much time in this movie on screen by herself. There's just her and her talking into the void. Yes, as an audience member, you know that there's a good chance that there's actually someone there listening, but from just a filmmaking perspective, it's clearly just her there by herself. I really liked that performance, and most of this movie performances were good, but hers was just standout. Um, Now, is this movie something that I will add to my collection of movies when it comes out? Probably not. But I definitely think that it was worth watching in theaters. Most horror movies are worth watching on the big screen, obviously. Uh, you get sucked into the environment a lot more than you can at home. But if you have to wait until it comes out on video, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing to do. Definitely worth seeing at least once. If you like these kinds of reviews, Matt and I have got a lot of reviews up on our channel. Make sure to give us a like and a subscribe if you want to continue to see this kind of content. For right now, I'm Randall here in Texas. I'll see everyone later.